Xbox has decided to end their 2024 the same way they spent the entire year riding a roller coaster. Yeah, 2024 has been a very interesting year for Xbox. People I've seen writing it as like a pivot year. They're like, you can definitely tell that the platform's changing and trying to evolve. And I will say this, if the platform succeeds or fails, they will look back at the year 2024 and be like, that was the year. That was the most impactful year for Xbox. Like if Xbox proves that all their decisions were right and the platform succeeds in 3 to 5 years, they're going to look at all the changes that they made this year and be like, that was when it started. That's when Xbox became the dominant platform. But then if it fails, right? And I don't want it to fail, but if it does fail, I think on the same side, people are going to look back at this year and be like, you gave up on consoles. You gave up on exclusives. And we're going to hear those same people that are always in the comment section and be like, well, how are you going to sell a platform without exclusives? And it's like, those people are going to be proven right. So, this year's been wild. And, I wrote some notes here. I hope you guys don't mind me jumping into them. This year started off with the news that Xbox exclusives would be coming to rival platforms for Nintendo and PlayStation. And the list of games started off as just 4 games. You had Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush. And at the time, Xbox's Phil Spencer was like, guys, that's all that's happening. We're not having any other games. And then that grew into like, well, there's no red line in the sand. Any game could technically go to a rival platform. We're not really saying like this game can't go. And you might be wondering, well, like, why'd you change your tone? Well, Sea of Thieves, for example, came to PlayStation, and it went on to be one of the best-selling games of the year for PlayStation. I think it was like 2 months in a row inside the PlayStation Store. It was like the best-selling game on the platform. And you better believe that there are some suit-wearing individuals up in Microsoft and Xbox who saw Sea of Thieves perform so well, and they're like, how do you think Starfield would do? Better idea. What do you think Hellblade 2 will do? And then the other big news from this year, right? Xbox Game Pass had a big price increase. Specifically, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is kind of like the version of Game Pass Ultimate that if you're going to buy that one. That went from $16.99 a month to $19.99 a month. But then you had some positive stories. Xbox expanded their relationships with cloud gaming platforms. We saw the Xbox app appear on more devices and more hardware and software. So playing Xbox video games became a ton more accessible. Xbox also launched a brand new mid-generational refresh with like a digital console, and then they increased the hard drive size on the Xbox Series X. And then as far as games go, we saw one of the most solid years for Xbox with Hellblade 2, Stalker 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Microsoft Flight Simulator all releasing in 2024. And again, I said this was a roller coaster of a year because, as you can imagine, we're going up, 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 and then just down. Xbox also announced a brand new ad campaign this year called This is an Xbox, which for those of you who are so lucky enough to not be involved in the dirty, 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 deep, dark, disgusting world of speculation, you might be wondering, like, it's a commercial, what's the big deal? So the Xbox campaign was basically saying like anything can be an Xbox. Your phone can be an Xbox. Your tablet can be an Xbox. Your Chromebook can be an Xbox. Your smart TV, streaming stick, whatever you own, you don't need a console. You can play the games wherever you'd like them. On paper, that's a great ad, right? I think that expands so much. But it caused some of the Xbox loyals, specifically the console fans, to be like, why the hell did I buy a console? Why did I spend $600 on an Xbox console if I could just play it on my phone? Valid question. But again, a roller coaster because you had so many highs, but you also had so many lows this year. And I really do agree that Xbox spent this year redefining, who or what Xbox is as a platform. And I think that a lot of people are just not paying attention to that. But that was this year. Let's talk about what happened this week. Because we had 3 Xbox stories that were pretty sizable that dropped this week. The first one was Outer Worlds 2, right? This actually happened during the Game Awards. We got the announcement trailer and we got our debut trailer for the Outer Worlds 2. And we saw gameplay footage and the game looks great. It looks like everything that you loved about the first game, it's returning in the second game. And it dropped and everyone's like, cool, another Xbox exclusive coming out in 2025. Can't wait to play this one. Until, that is, PlayStation decided to upload the very same trailer for Outer Worlds 2 on the PlayStation YouTube channel, and it sure enough ended with the PS5 logo appearing, saying, coming to PlayStation, and that same Xbox loyalist community who was so upset about consoles was like, what the actual hell is going on? Are all exclusives going to be coming to PlayStation? Why do I own an Xbox? And then adding fuel to the fire, Jez Corden of Windows Central wrote a really good article that discussed how moving forward, Xbox fans shouldn't expect exclusives to be like the norm. Specifically saying console exclusives for Xbox are going to be the exception, not the rule. And I think that that's clear. Like, if you're paying attention to anything Xbox is doing, that is extremely clear. How many times do these executives have to say, we want you to play Xbox games on the devices that you love, right? If the device that you love is a PlayStation, the games are going to be there, right? If you love to play them on Xbox, hey, spoiler alert, the games are still going to be on Xbox. And I think really the biggest story of this all is 2024 for Xbox was not just a transition year. It was not only like them coming out of the cocoon to be a brand new butterfly. It was Xbox really saying, hey, the console wars are over. We're done trying to be a console. We're moving on to other things. And then you have Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who was telling investors that the company is working on redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan. Following that up with a discussion about how Xbox is focusing on making sure Xbox games are available on whatever device you want. And look, I will play both sides here. There are two schools of thought. One, cool. Just like Office, just like Windows, just like any other software that Microsoft creates, it's available on whatever device you want. If you want to put Office on your iPhone, you can take Microsoft software, you can put it on there. If that's the future of Xbox video games and Xbox software is just kind of going to be, playable on any device that you own, but it's better on a Windows device, I'm all for that. But then the second school of thought is really like, for the platform warriors, this news is not what you are wanting to hear, because you're like, I invested in the Xbox ecosystem. I put 10, 15 plus years behind this platform only to see it become nothing. But at the same time, I don't think Xbox is getting enough credit for the fact that they're trying to transform as a platform. Xbox is trying to redefine who they are. In the past, Xbox has always been a third player when it comes to like PlayStation or Nintendo. They've never been able to establish themselves as a big player, as the place that you have to be. And with this new strategy, Xbox is really just meeting players where they are and ensuring that the games that they're coming out with, the games that they're spending millions of dollars to acquire, and the games that are going into development can be played by as many gamers as possible. Plus, I think we'd be extremely overreactive if we said that it's all over, because the last 2 years for Xbox have fucking slapped. And the devs behind the games that they've released on Xbox deserve to have their games played by as many players as possible. And look, I understand the fear and the frustration. I had my platform of choice taken away from me. I had my platform of choice completely disappear. But Xbox isn't going away. Sure, maybe we might see a future where there's one less console generation or something like that. But if anything, Xbox is trying to secure their future. Just like Nintendo, after the Wii U, looked at the gaming console market and said, we can't survive here. So they sailed off for bluer waters. They found a bluer ocean where they could define what their segment of the market is. Xbox, in many ways, is doing the very same thing. They are borrowing Nintendo's blue ocean strategy and saying, hey, PlayStation, Nintendo, you guys can have fun in the handhelds, you can have fun in the consoles. We're going to go be something else. And Xbox, I'm here for it. I am thrilled to see what you do in 2025. And even though it was kind of a roller coaster this year, 2025, I think is going to be a great year. I think if I had to make some predictions, I think you're going to be seeing Xbox expand massively upon what we've seen already. New devices for Xbox gaming apps. I think Hellblade 2 is coming to PlayStation 5. To me, that's an easy no-brainer switch. The first Hellblade was a PlayStation console exclusive, so the idea that Hellblade 2 comes to PlayStation 5 like a year or 2 years later, I think it makes total sense. We'll probably also get Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I will say this, Switch 2 announcement early 2025. I think we're going to be seeing a ton of Xbox on there. Whether it's Activision, whether it's Blizzard, whether it's Bethesda, or whether it's like Call of Duty. We are going to see so much Xbox on the Nintendo Switch. It's not even funny. The Xbox app, I think, is going to be expanding. I think you're going to see it on more devices. And playing an Xbox will become extremely democratized and easier and easier. And then as far as games go, I mean, think about it. Xbox's year has Avowed, Fable, Doom Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Arc 2, potentially Gears of War E-Day, and then the game everybody's getting next year, Grand Theft Auto 6. That is a killer year for Xbox fans. And look, I mean, I kind of hinted at it, and I already said this, but like personally, I'm on the boat that 2024 is going to be looked upon very positively in the future of Xbox, but 2025, I think 2025 has the potential to be a killer year for the platform.